The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
This week on Savage Wild, we're going to show you 6 of the most dangerous sharks in the Atlantic Ocean. And try not to get eaten in the process. Sharks are complicated and unpredictable. And 6 miles offshore, we encounter a dangerous mix of sharks and a visit from a true behemoth. Just get my hand out of it. You know, a great hammerhead has a big mouth.
Yeah.
I am Manny Puig. I have spent my whole life learning to survive like Tarzan in the most dangerous and primitive wilderness, where you can be killed or eaten. I have learned the ways of giant, man-eating predators, deadly sharks, and reptiles, where every encounter may spell disaster in the savage wild.
All right, Mike. All clear? Good.
Today we're going out into the blue ocean, way offshore on Florida's east coast. Here, large coastal and pelagic sharks are common and are often found in mixed groups. The possibility is endless. This is a vast, mysterious, blue, savage place.
So even though we're 5-6 miles offshore, water's 100 to 150 feet deep, we could see anything.
You can see anything.
We could see anything.
Anything. Well, actually, the water will be even deeper than that. It will start at that depth, but we'll go offshore very quickly. So you never know what will come up from the depths. There's actually been a couple of pressure sharks spotted too in the last couple of weeks.
Fantastic. You know, we've been in the water with threshers and we can't get close enough to them. They're really shy. They can sense us and they come in because they you know, are interested in what we're doing. But then as we approach them, they just back right off and we can't get within camera range. They're real shy.
Oh, really?
Real shy.
Yeah, I've only seen 2, and they've been very far away from me too. You know, I did try to approach them, but they skirted off too.
This is a reality, so my mind is out there. It's kind of, I don't like to talk about what's going to happen until it happens. You know, this is reality. This is dangerous. This is super high adventure, and you know, I don't have much to say till I got something to talk about. But this could be tremendous out here. The potential for incredible encounters with some of the most dangerous sharks is about to happen. The variety of sharks in Florida waters is fantastic, and surprising encounters are not uncommon.
Yeah, about 3 days ago, they saw about 5 or 6 great whites out on up north of Juneau. Man, that's rare. I mean, we see them maybe once, twice a year tops, and they saw 5 or 6 in one day. That's pretty amazing.
He just locks in on it and gets tremendous shots, man. In the line of fire.
My best underwater cameraman, Quete, is phenomenal. And the reason he's so good is he can't see and he can't hear. So no matter what happens, he stays calm as a cucumber, cool as ice, and then asks us what happened at the end of the day, and the footage is awesome.
Ignorance is bliss, man.
Quete is so blind, I had to buy him this mask. These are readers inside here. They're like bottoms. This is my oldest setup. This is old setup. This is old setup. And he could see nothing with this. So he had to go with these. These are 3 1/4 readers that are bonded to the lens. Now he can actually see what's going on with the camera. Can't see anything else, but he can see what's going on with the camera.
Awesome. Yeah, Lee.
3 miles out, we are now in federal waters. It is illegal to hand feed sharks while diving in Florida state waters. And we want to be sure we are well outside the limit. I'm gonna grab a fish and a knife. I'm gonna be working. The current's gonna be going this way, so everybody gets up current of the blood, the fish, and everything. So whatever dangerous shark's gonna come up, they're gonna come down current towards us. And that way, you know, we're not gonna get surprised from behind. So just keep that in mind. Another thing too is you're either gonna put yourself in danger or you're gonna scare the shark. Those are the two possibilities. So best thing to do is just everybody get behind me, a foot behind me, while I work, like that. And then once he's engaged, then you can surround him, looking around, and then you can get any angle.
Manny, if things get out of control, what's the plan?
I'll slow down the knife action. They'll start unwinding. A shark can only stay at a high peak so long. They usually get like at that craziness, and they don't stay there very long. And then they start to unwind, and they start getting shyer and back to normal instead further and further away from you. So the idea is to keep them pretty intense as long as possible. We have no idea what we will encounter. My goal is to observe a mix of species interacting together.
Behind you, Manny!
To see if they establish a pecking order. This is serious business. As thrilling as it is, the level of danger for our crew is extreme. I am cruising 6 miles of Florida's east coast, directly into the Gulf Stream, searching for the most dangerous sharks found in the Atlantic Ocean. This is serious business. Anything can show up. That's exactly what I love about working with sharks in the open sea. It can go from boredom to sheer terror in an instant. So be ready for anything. Before we enter the water, there is a great deal of preparation. We rig a large float at the end of a 100-foot line and put several loops in it for arms to go through. This keeps us together and up current from the shum line. I will also hang a fish stringer from the float.
Free to come where my hand is. Sometimes they prefer.
We may smile and joke on the way out, but now we're more serious and always a little bit nervous. This is stepping into the unknown. We have absolutely no way of knowing what may come charging up from the depths.
Yeah, do the anti-venom?
I'm gonna need a, yeah, and as soon as I'm gonna need my hand.
They want our liquor.
As we gear up, a large sea turtle is keeping a curious eye on us. We enter the water, and I make my way down the float line. There are many ways to attract sharks, but I have my own proven method. Using my knife, I will chunk up the fish. To a shark, the sound of my knife chopping and grating on a fish sounds like another shark feeding. And this, along with the shum I'm creating, is an irresistible lure. We settle in. Sometimes it can take hours before a shark appears. The first fish to show up is a barjack. Next, a spotted toonie. Locals call them bonita. They're hitting right here on my chunk. Okay. It zips around us, picking up pieces of shum. Mike Newman and Johnny Polito will try to catch as many toonie as possible. It's gonna be a long day, and we will need fresh fish to keep the sharks interested. Next, like a ghost, a gorgeous wahoo appears. This is one of the most amazing predators of the open sea. They are like swimming tigers. Few fish can escape them. But suddenly he darts off. And this is why. A big sandbar shark is rising from 200 feet to greet us. To see a large shark in the open sea is hypnotic. So beautiful, so ancient, and so dangerous. Sandbar sharks are one of the most successful shark species and are found almost anywhere in the Atlantic where the water is warm. They like to hunt drop-offs and ridges. They are rare, over 200 pounds, and this one is as big as they get. They aren't considered dangerous by most divers. But tell that to the spearfishers that have had them snapping in their face. The sandbar shark is only the first to show up. And like stoking a fire, I continue shredding fish. I want to see a crazy mixture of sharks show up. Pelagic and large coastal sharks. How they interact is fascinating to me.
That's how you do it.
But our team needs to stay in constant alert. One mistake here could easily cost one of us our lives. 6 miles off Florida's east coast, I am on the hunt for dangerous coastal and pelagic sharks, using my own technique to call them in. I want to see how they interact with each other. Is there a pecking order based on size or species? So far, the only arrival has been a lone sandbar shark. But as the Shumslick spreads and we drift north with the Gulf Stream, fantastic encounters are bound to happen. The sandbar shark is acting very cautious. And this is normal for most sharks. I continue to shred fish, hoping to bring him closer. Suddenly, below us, a fantastic school of Jack Crevalle appears. Jack Crevalle are powerful predatory fish, common in Florida waters. The sandbar seems content to cruise among them.
Is a pretty good-sized sandbar cruising real slow. He hasn't really done a lot yet. He's really checking the area. He seems very wary, which is normal.
Captain Johnny Polito hooks up a jack. And this gets the attention of the sandbar.
It's over there on the next seat.
Give up, man.
He's getting chased by a shark right now.
Yeah, there's a shark right behind him.
After 30 minutes of shredding fish, no other sharks have showed up, and we decided to move north.
That's why I'd rather take you up there where we can do a long 2-mile drift.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah. If they were here, you'd see them instantly. Man, you got some free dive skills.
Put in that black tub, please.
Yep.
Nothing is guaranteed in the ocean. I know this more than anyone. The sharks could swarm us on the next dive, or it could be a bust. I have to carefully pace myself. Shredding these fish is tiring.
Take you up here where there's a nice long drift and get you right there.
a little excited for some reason.
A bit chill.
The water here isn't as clear, and clouds of baitfish begin to appear. Suddenly, a Caribbean reef shark appears. Followed by another. These sharks are difficult to bring in close, unless they are attacking. They have definitely been the culprit on numerous attacks. Seem content to stay below us and snap up the fish pieces raining down, cruising up to within a few feet to check us out. We have now seen two species of large coastal sharks, sandbar and Caribbean reef sharks. And as we continue to drift north, the chances of getting to observe a mixed group in near feeding frenzy conditions is increasing rapidly. I want to see how they interact, how they behave in a group. By seeing this myself, I will learn things that no book will teach me. Six miles off the Florida coast, I'm hoping to observe a mix of dangerous sharks feeding together, to see how they interact. Both sandbar and Caribbean reef sharks have made an appearance. And as we drift north with the Gulf Stream, we are moving through dangerous shark territory.
Oh, cool. Here, we got him right here. Come on, here, get in the water. Got sharks? I got a big school of jacks. Here, give me some of that bait right there. You guys need to get in. All right. Let's do it. It's going to be sharks if we can get in.
They say the third time is a charm. On our third spot, the action is picking up. A bull shark rushes up to investigate.
Bull shark, he's coming in hot.
Let me get him hot. Everybody just hold the position. Relax. Let me get him hot.
That was good.
One of the most feared sharks that swims in the sea. They are unpredictable and vicious, and almost never alone. My senses are telling me that something is about to happen. And sure enough, two more bulls show up. Like a pack of dogs, watch as they become braver. Now that there are three, they will feed off each other's aggression. The bull sharks are heating up, and suddenly, an awesome encounter. A 10-foot dusky shark cruises right up to us. These are amazing open ocean sharks, and they have a huge mouth for their size. But the bull sharks are too aggressive for him, and he leaves. The bull sharks are now coming much closer. They have a habit of keeping their distance, and then rushing in, jaws snapping in your face, and then suddenly becoming wary again. They are one of the most difficult sharks to work with. grabs a string of fish hanging from our buoy and rockets away with it.
Oh, nice footage. You get that? Oh, wow.
Minutes later, they are gone.
They all left. Are we past the area?
Yep.
Yeah, we've gone out. We drifted out. If you just jump in, we'll run back through. We'll pick them up again.
Our adventure is still unfolding. So far, we've seen 4 species of sharks: sandbar, Caribbean reef, bull, and dusky. But the day is not over. We have hours of sunlight left. And the wild blue ocean is full of surprises.
We're so far out that we have like sharks that live on the reef and so forth, and sharks in the ocean mixing them together. When I saw a silky, I said, man, we're out there. We're far out there.
The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
I am Manny Puig. I have spent my whole life learning to survive like Tarzan in the most dangerous and primitive wilderness, where you can be killed or eaten. I have learned the ways of giant, man-eating predators, deadly sharks, and reptiles, where every encounter may spell disaster in the savage wild. Farther offshore, we get ready for the next dive. I'm hoping to lure in true pelagic or open ocean shark, like a white tip or a silky. But we could be surprised by anything.
This it, John?
Yeah, that's it.
You know, it's funny, Manny. Everybody thinks if you fall in the ocean, sharks are just going to come and eat you. And here we've been filling the ocean full of chum.
We're trying to get eaten all day.
We've been trying to get eaten all day. Sharks come, they look at us, and they swim away. I guess there's something wrong with us. Okay, and if maybe you could just hand me my camera over the side too, over there.
I settle in and begin chunking up the fish. We have already used up so much fish that I will need to pace myself. Below me, a beautiful school of Jack Crevalle is passing by. Dive down to see if I can hand feed them, but they move away. Running low on fish.
Wow, huge school of Jack Crevalles. Huge school of them.
I suddenly realize this may be our only opportunity to spear a few oily, bloody Jack Crevalle. I know the sharks will go wild for them. But as I drop below with my pole spear, they move deeper and then keep their distance. As if they know exactly what I'm up to. Chasing them is no use, so I head back up for a breath. only a pole spear, taking one of these fish will be tricky. I managed to get within range, but the fish moves away as I let my spear fly. I will have to make do with the fish we have left to bring in the sharks. Below the school of Jack Crevel, a sandbar shark is slowly rising up from the deep. This is one of the sharks that is at home on the reef or miles at sea. I continue to chunk up bonita, but after 30 minutes, the action seems to have tapered off. So we head back to the boat to take a break and move to another spot.
Second buoy.
My search for large oceanic sharks continues. We have now spent hours drifting with the Gulf Stream, chunking up bonita, and hours of this can be exhausting. But with each dive, there is the excitement of the unknown. What surprises are waiting for us? Hoping to encounter a monster pelagic shark, we are now drifting miles out at sea with the Gulf Stream. The water below us is almost 1,000 feet deep. Large oceanic sharks are constantly hunting these waters, as well as the duskies and sandbar sharks we have already encountered. We will stay together and stay focused. Big sharks have a habit of sneaking up on you when you are distracted, as one of our crew soon learns. Once again, we gear up for the next dive. It is now late in the afternoon, and this is actually when the sharks begin to prowl for food. I have decided to drift free, untethered from the boat for this dive.
What we're doing here, our previous technique was we were latching them to the boat, giving them about 70 feet of line, just letting them drift with us to keep them close to the boat, keep them safe if things were to get out of hand. Now we're just letting the ball run free. We put them out there with the buoy because now this west wind is pushing this boat like a parachute. And what happens is it pushes us and it pushes us off any ledge, structure, anything that we want to stay on with the north current. It's pushing us right off it, so this way they can stay in the hot zone longer and hopefully get more interaction with the sharks.
A silky shark cruises in to investigate. Common in the Gulf of Mexico, it is much more rare to see them on the East Coast. This is a true pelagic shark, always found miles at sea in the deep water. They are called silky sharks because they have fine scales and their skin looks smooth. They are powerful sharks and can grow to 10 feet. Silkies are easy to spot with the short pectoral fins and torpedo shape. I continue to work the fish as the silky investigates the stringer. silkie continues to gain confidence. This is a perfect example of how cautious most sharks really are. They almost never rush in and attack. But it moves in closer, and the silkie doesn't seem to mind. Finally deciding that the shredded fish hanging from the stringer is worth taking an experimental bite. I am now down to shredding small mackerel, when suddenly deep below us we catch a glimpse of a giant hammerhead shark. Like Jurassic Park, we get a visit from a real dinosaur. A huge great hammerhead, and there's nothing between him and us but water. Our silkie continues to keep us company, but our attention is on the hammerhead. An incredible predator. This monster shark is determined to leave with a prize. Miles offshore, drifting north with the Gulf Stream, we have already encountered our first true pelagic shark. A 5-foot silkie is growing braver by the minute. A large sandbar shark is also slowly circling. And deep below us, we get a glimpse of a massive great hammerhead before it disappears into the gloom. The silkie seems bored with what I have to offer. He circles continuously, as if hoping I will finally bring out the main course. As I might, the silkie shark remains cautious, shying away from me at the last second. And although this is a beautiful predator, I'm not here for 5-foot silkie sharks. I'm looking for monsters. If you wonder why we wear full wetsuits in warm water, this is why. The little jellyfish near the surface is just one of the thousands we encounter out here. Some are harmless, and some will put you on your knees. As Quete swings his camera back to the group, a surprise, Mr. T is back. While he is distracted with a jellyfish, the great hammerhead suddenly swims up behind Robin Berg, sending chills down his spine for not seeing such a huge animal sneaking up behind him. great hammerheads are the longest of all predatory sharks, great whites get much heavier. But the great hammerhead is a gigantic shark, reaching lengths of 20 feet. At 12 feet long and 800 pounds, this one is very impressive, but they can get much bigger. What an adventure! We have now seen 6 species of large, dangerous sharks. And that huge hammerhead is still lurking out there. I am fascinated by how much respect the other sharks give him. They know Mr. T would just love to eat them. 6 miles offshore in 1,000 feet of water, drifting north with the Gulf Stream. We are being slowly circled by a huge predator, and he's getting braver with each pass.
A massive great hammerhead. 12 foot, 800 pound monster swimming around us like this.
The great hammerhead is circling much closer. I feel he's planning to make a move. Eyeing each one of us carefully. The open ocean is a wild and savage place. There is no mercy here. And it pays to be big with a mouthful of teeth. These huge sharks can turn on a dime. Like this. Many spearfishers have been startled to have a great hammerhead pass by and then suddenly turn and ram into them, sometimes over and over. He sniffs the shredded fish in my hand. And makes another complete circle around us. This huge animal is wary of us, and this is how they stay alive. You can see the powerful muscles rippling along his body as he swims by. Finally, he decides to take the fish from my hand. Then swims away, gulping it down. And then turns and rushes directly at the camera, passing calmly while looking into the lens. What an incredible thrill it is to share the water with this magnificent animal that may one day vanish from many waters. Great hammerheads have been reduced by over 80% according to some studies. Their huge fins are prized for shark fin soup, and they are an easy catch for the international longliners. If I can pass my knowledge about these animals onto you and help you understand them, it is better for them and us.
Yeah, we earned that one. What a beautiful animal.
Hey, John, come out.
Really careful, really cautious. Manny got a chance to hand feed him. But, he stayed with us for quite a while 2 other sharks were working us as well.
Yeah, we had a sandbar, a silky, and a great hammerhead here at the end.
6 species today.
Hey!
Wow. I was just out of fresh bait too, man. I had one little
Come on in here.
piece of jack that had hardly any juice left in it. I was like, I'm just getting dust off of it. And then I was like, please come and get it. Please come and get it. And he finally went like this, and it was such a little rag. I finally had to just get my hand out of it. A great hammerhead has a big mouth, unlike a scalper hammerhead.
Yeah, he sucked it right down too, man.
Oh yeah. So we're so far out that we have like sharks that live on the reef and so forth, and sharks in the ocean mixing them together. When I saw a silky, I said, no, we're out there. We're far out there. coming in contact with
That's a
him.
rare sight.
Hammerhead was gorgeous.
He was a beautiful animal.
Yeah, but
how much did he weigh? He was massive, massive.
Dude, a 12-foot hammerhead could weigh 600 pounds, 800 pounds.
Oh, at least that. At least 800.
It depending on the,
Yeah, his girth was massive. Yeah, exactly.
It's hard. All I know is when he dropped down, I could see he was wide.
Yeah.
The sea hammerheads are bigger this way.
Yeah.
So he was real big this way, and even sideways, he was really wide.
Do you think that was the same one that surprised me earlier?
I don't know. This was a male.
That was a male. That was a
I
huge-
noticed
yeah.
it was a male. I did catch that, but it could have been the same one.
Yeah.
Sharks are complicated and unpredictable. Yes, they're very dangerous. You could come out here and get attacked. But you can also spend the entire day out here swimming for them, putting blood in the water, trying to attract them, and find nothing. At any moment today, we could be in the water with 5 different species of sharks. We were approached by bull sharks, sandbar sharks, dusky sharks, Caribbean reef sharks, silky sharks, and at the end, a massive great hammerhead to end the day. What an experience to see this 12-foot, 800-pound monster swimming around us like this. And that's the one shark I got a hand feed on at the end of the day. That made my day. And I'm glad you were here to enjoy it with us on Savage Wild.
The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
We were stranded 10 miles deep in the Everglades, surrounded by water and wilderness full of huge alligators and venomous snakes. But how will you make it out alive? I'm going to show you how, my way, using the knowledge I've gained over many years of exploring this beautiful but deadly place. I am Manny Puig. I have spent my whole life learning to survive like Tarzan in the most dangerous and primitive wilderness, where you can be killed or eaten. I have learned the ways of giant, man-eating predators, deadly sharks, and reptiles, where every encounter may spell disaster in the savage wild.
Welcome to the Manny Puig School of Survival. You may have noticed I have a different take on everything. Today I'm going to teach you my way how to hike 10 miles out of the Everglades and survive. If your airboat broke down in the Everglades and it's floating, stay on it. The authorities will find you. They'll fly up in the air and they'll see you. In my case, my boat sunk. So I had to trek through extremely dangerous waters and territory back to the highway. First of all, never go into the Everglades without the Manny Puig kit of survival. Your greatest dangers are dying of exposure or being killed by a predator. I bring a hat to protect myself from the sun, polarized sunglasses so I can see into the water, a wetsuit to protect me from mosquito bites, from sawgrass, and from temperature, gloves to protect my hands so I don't get cut up with sawgrass, a knife, and a mask so I can see underwater in case I need to grab something, check out what's there. And also waterproof matches, which I keep right here so I don't lose them. And last of all, a spear or a stick. So you have to poke your way through the marshes. If you can't see what's in there, if there's an alligator, you poke, you'll move out of the way rather than put your foot on and lose your leg. Once you made the decision that you gotta trek your way out of here, look around, there's trees everywhere. Get your knife, cut yourself a good stick, maybe 6 feet long, sturdy, sharpen an end of it, and make your spear. That'll be your spear. And you will need that to poke your way through the marshes to get out of here. Today I'm gonna demonstrate how to travel 10 miles to the nearest highway. I have 2 problems. Where's the highway, and how do I find my direction out of here? If I'm in the middle of the Everglades, in this area, there's a highway
south of here, and there's another highway north of here. The highways go east and west. Now the sun comes out of the east and goes down in the west. You can use that as a way to guide you. And in the Everglades, the water always flows south because the Everglades is one giant river. But there are other ways to determine south and north in the Everglades. Nature is amazing. It's full of information if you only know how to read it. If you look behind me, this is a cypress head. And you notice on one side the trees are high, on the other side the trees are low. Well, the way they grow is the high trees are on the north side of the head and the low trees are on the south side of the head. So that's nature's compass and it's pointing the way out. Stay in the open. You will be spotted easier. And when possible, conserve your energy. Take the path of least resistance. The reason I'm walking through here is because it's easier to walk through here and I can see everything down through here. And here it's very thick, the vegetation right now, the marshes, and it's also harder to walk through this. And I can't see what's there, so I have to spend a lot of time sometimes poking around. But when I get a clearing, I have the sunglasses and I can see right through. The Everglades is not all sawgrass. There are many types of terrain. Each one has a different approach to it. I'm gonna show you, but I got 10 miles to go, so I gotta get going. So once I spotted them, I know the danger is there. To hike 10 miles out of the Everglades and make it to the highway in one piece is going to take nerves of steel. You will have to remain calm and determined through swamps, bogs, and deep canals. But keep your wits, and you can do it. I'll show you how to stay alive. The Everglades are no place to be stranded. There is danger everywhere. But what if you had to make it 10 miles to the highway on your own? What will it take? And what should you do? And what should you not do? If you stay calm and listen carefully to what I have to say, you will make it. Well, I got 10 miles to go to the highway. The worst thing you can do out here is panic. That is your worst enemy. You take off running and trying to get out of here fast, you're gonna wear yourself out. You're gonna alarm an alligator you're coming. You're gonna crash right into him. You're not gonna be paying attention where you're going. So keep in mind, you have to relax. It's a mental game. You cannot panic. Panic is your worst enemy. That will kill you out here. 10 miles at 2 miles an hour. I'll make it out of here in 5 hours and I'll be safe. I won't panic. I'll be real cautious and I'll get out of here. Remember, it's a mental game. At this time of the year, the water is high, so it's going to be wet the entire area. This is a river. Now in the dry season, I'd be walking on mud and drier ground, but right now, you can almost swim home. Let me clear some misconceptions about the Everglades. You can die of hypothermia out here in the middle of wintertime. You know, it's a wet environment and it gets very cold out here. So you'll be exposed to the winter, you can lose all your body heat and eventually you will die of hypothermia out here. That's why I like to have a good wetsuit in the wintertime out here. That'll keep you warm and save you from hypothermia. And in the same time, in the summertime, you can overheat to death out here. So if you get really hot, there's water everywhere. Just get in the water, sit in it, and cool off in it. And you have to drink it, drink it. If you're out here and you're tired of being in the water and you see this trees on here, you think there's dry ground in there, you want to get in there, don't go in there. These are cypress trees, they grow in the water. And another thing, there's a lot of cottonmouths in there. And if you walk in there, if you get bit by cottonmouth, the venom of the cottonmouth will rot you away and you will die, you won't make it in. And if you're in there, nobody's gonna see you. You need to be out here in the open in case somebody flies over or an airboat comes by. I'm hoping the ground gets a little harder because it's really silty and I'm still sinking. So actually it's twice as hard to walk in this terrain as it would be in another terrain. Every area is different. I may get into an area where the silt might be this deep. As you walk through here, you're just stepping through. But a 12-foot alligator can lay right here and you won't see him. You can walk right into him. You got miles and miles of this and it could be just one alligator. So it ain't like this, you're not alert, but after hours and hours of this, you're just walking along, you're not paying attention. And at any minute, all of a sudden you step, the alligator could be right there and kaboom, he's got you. So sometimes, you know, if he's in here and you do this, he's gonna explode and burst and take off. I've been walking for a couple hours now, and I'm getting hot inside my suit. So I'm gonna stop, take a break, and cool off. This feels really good. You know, it's like air conditioning inside the suit right now. Slogging through 10 miles of swamp and sawgrass will also be a test of endurance. I am burning a lot of energy. Soon I will need to replace it with carbohydrates. And I know just where to look. In fact, I'm surrounded by good food and fresh water. But I am also surrounded by danger. And I have to stay constantly alert. I know the danger is there, so I'm gonna go around this way. The terrain is constantly changing. Sometimes the going is easy, most of the time it's slow and difficult. 10 miles of this will be a marathon workout. I am almost halfway out of this nightmare. I have 5, maybe 6 miles of swamp ahead of me before I reach the highway. And if you walk in there, if you get bit by cottonmouth, the venom of the cottonmouth will rot you away and you will die, you won't make it in. This is a different type of terrain. This place is full of cattails and lily pads. It's also very deep silt underneath it. This is an excellent place for a big alligator to be hiding and wait of ambush. In this area, due to the fact there might be a giant alligator hiding, he could be laying right here, you literally have to feel your way through and keep walking. You know, you just can't rush it. You gotta take your time. You can't get desperate, you can't get impatient. Just keep moving, feel your way through. If there is an alligator hiding underwater, and you bump him, he'll snap and take off, back away. And if he jumps at you, you just put the stick down, get on the other side of him. If he's on this side, you get on this side of him. And if he goes on this side, you get on this side of the stick. And you back away, get around him, and keep going south. So far, so good. But I'm getting hungry, and soon I will need energy to sustain my pace. There are many places in the world where you can die of starvation, but not in the Everglades. There's plenty of water and there's plenty of food. For example, this cocoa plum, this plant right here, it's edible. This is something that the Indians in Florida grew up eating since they were children. And I'm gonna eat it and fill my belly with them and move on. It's like a tiny little fruit. It's got a seed in the middle, so you eat the skin and the flesh around it. That's a seed. It's actually quite good. It's sweet. But Good source of carbohydrates. Another abundant source of food in the Everglades, believe it or not, is sawgrass, and it's everywhere. Get this end right here. That's delicious right there. It tastes like heart of palm. Food is abundant here, but the biggest danger is becoming prey to large alligator. With a belly full of cocoa plums and sawgrass shoots, I continue on my way. A stroke of luck. I found an airboat path. Over the years, these airboats are coming up and down these trails, and they create like these little channels out here. And that's how they find their way around. So this will probably lead me to the highway, and I also have another advantage. There may be an actual airboat coming through here, and I might get rescued. Alligator, right in my path. He must have heard me or smelled me coming. They can hear you walking. He's an ambush predator, and he's sitting there. Luckily, I've already seen him out in the open. He's not in the marsh. That's why if he's in here, you won't see him. You have to poke your way through. So once I spotted him, I know the danger is there, so I'm gonna go around this way and avoid confrontation. He just went underwater. I got a real dangerous situation because I've lost sight of him. I don't know where he's at. I do know one thing. If he tries to come through here, there's grass. I'll see the grass move, and when you see the grass moving, that's an indication that the alligator is coming your way. Now, if he's in an open spot and he's moving, I can't see if he's moving. So I gotta keep a good eye for him because he heard noise and he heard me walking through and he came over to check out, investigate what's going on. So I gotta be real careful right now because I know he's here and he could be anywhere right now. Stranded 10 miles deep in the Everglades. I have no choice but to try and hike my way out, poking and prodding my way through so I won't get attacked by an alligator. After 3 hours of hard slogging, I still have 5 miles left before I reach the highway. Being ambushed and torn to pieces is a real possibility. So stay alert, stay calm, and keep moving south. That's nature's compass, and it's pointing the way out. Exhausted from my 10-mile trek through the Everglades. The last mile can be the most dangerous. You must fight the urge to bolt for safety. I can hear the highway. It's maybe half a mile away, but I am tired. With all the experience I got, I still have to be careful and be really cautious the last bit of the way. Sometimes these alligators congregate right on the edge of the highway. And I've been walking in mud all day. You know, right now my legs here, getting ready to cramp. This sawgrass is so difficult. This is difficult for wildlife. If it wasn't for my wetsuit, I'd be covered in blood right now. I'd be sliced all over. But look at this. This is super sharp. Got no idea how this thing cuts. The highway, I can hear it. It's right there, only a few hundred yards away. I'm tired. I want to run out of here, but I gotta keep cautious all the way to the end. I'm not clear till I'm on the highway. I'm almost out of here, but man, I am tired. I got cramp in both legs right now. Every time I step, my leg is stuck in the mud and I got pull it out, hour after hour. That it just is agonizing. I love it out here. Finally, I'm at the edge of the canal next to the highway. The danger of alligator attack here is very high. I'm about 50 feet from the highway. I'm at the end of my journey, but this is the last canal right here. Now, this canal is full of alligators. I've been attacked by an alligator before. I don't want to make it across the 10 miles of swamp to get killed by an alligator right here in the canal on the way out. So I'm going to look at the edges real careful, look everywhere an alligator could be hiding. I'm going to put on my mask, swim across, and then get to the highway. The coast seems clear, but I still enter the water with a great deal of caution. I know how stealthy alligators can be, and on the surface, I am a sitting duck. I made it. I'm totally exhausted. I don't know how much fun this was, but what an adventure. But what really matters is that in case you guys are ever stranded in the Everglades, that you know how to get out of there, that you've learned from me how to survive and get out of the Everglades. I see you next week on Savage Wild. Right now, I need a dinner, man. I'm starving.
The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
2 years ago, on this very same river, I encountered a monster alligator. Over 14 feet long and 1,000 pounds. An old battle-scarred southern warrior. He was so impressive that I have returned to see if this magnificent beast is still lurking in this river. I am on the hunt for General Lee. I am Manny Puig. I have spent my whole life learning to survive like Tarzan in the most dangerous and primitive wilderness where you can be killed or eaten. I have learned the ways of giant, man-eating predators, deadly sharks, and reptiles, where every encounter may spell disaster in the savage wild. It's early morning and we're heading out across Lake George in North Florida to the mouth of the Dead River. We have been here before and now we're back for a special adventure. here at Lake George. Behind me is the Dead River. 2 seasons ago, we found an enormous alligator out here. We named him General Lee because he's a battle-scarred Southern warrior. Right now, it is hunting season, and the alligators, I believe, are moving their way in here to get away from the hunters. Hunting is not allowed in here, but is allowed out this way. 2 years ago, right here in the mouth of the Dead River, we were taping the first episode of Savage Wild when we found a massive alligator built like a tank. I could tell he was a wise old man of the swamps. He could have been 50 years old. And after an amazing encounter, he vanished back into the swamp. So I'm back to pay this old guy a visit, if he's still alive and I can find him again. But the water is cloudy with tannic acid. I need to see underwater where finding him will be impossible. I should be checking back there, but I'm hoping to have a little bit more viz this way. But I might miss some big alligators hiding back there. I'm checking the water quality right now. From my experience in areas where alligators are being hunted, they're usually out of sight, they're hiding underwater. So I had the advantage in situations like that to find alligators the hunters can't find because I start looking underwater, finding them in their dens and all that stuff. But I need to have some kind of viz. The water's cleared up a little bit. I think we might have 5 feet max visibility. I can see the bottom right now, but it's only about that deep. So another thing, last time we were here, the water was so low we couldn't make it this far into the river. So we're actually able to penetrate a little further this time. Tilt it, whoa, we got a log. We're going right
Up ahead, along the bank, baby alligators are dropping into the water.
Look at that bank. See, it's alive with baby alligators. They're just falling into it right now. See them?
See, this area is secluded, man. This is where there should be a female around here.
That's where her nest was.
A den right there.
Wow.
There might be a den right there. Wait a minute. Look, I'm looking into the bank.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm not going to be able to follow much farther with the boat, is all I'm saying. I cannot go much farther with the boat. There's too many trees. It's going to get to a point where we're useless in the boat. It's going to have to be you guys.
Soon we're too shallow to navigate, even with a trolling motor.
Here is only inches below the surface.
But there is also good news.
There's no way I'm going to be able to.
I can see right here where the spring-fed water is meeting the tannic acid water. There's a slight change in coloration and a little bit better visibility right here. I mean, it's a clear line right there. You can see it perfectly. Starting to get into. Oh, look at the bass right there swimming.
It's extremely clear.
Yeah, it's very clear. We just hit a clear area. Okay, let me get ready.
Conditions in this river are constantly changing. Heavy rains have stained the water with tannic acid from the riverbank. Now, finding General Lee in these waters will be a stroke of luck. In this swamp, a giant alligator can hide just a few feet away, waiting for the right time to lunge at his prey and rip it to pieces. I have returned to Florida's Dead River, hoping to find the giant alligator we encountered over 2 years ago. I named this battle-scarred Southern warrior General Lee. He was probably over 50 years old and 1,000 pounds. The absolute king of this northern swamp. But even monsters can disappear in these rivers. After penetrating deep into the Dead River, it's time to suit up and begin the search for General Lee. This river feels so ancient and primitive. Exactly the kind of place I like to explore.
we're getting a little bit of visibility, but there's a very deep silt on the bottom. That means if we just touch the bottom, it's gonna silt up. We have a lot of shallow water here, so we need to find an undercut with a deep hole in it, and that's more than likely where an alligator will be hiding. I'm looking right now for gator holes. The gators, and that's gonna be just anywhere. In this area specifically, they're gonna be near their holes, and that's what we gotta find. Probably when we're gonna have to find a den in here. That's what's gonna be. Quete checks his camera one more time before we slide into the murky river. I motion to Quete not to stir up the bottom. The silt is so fine that just touching it creates swirling clouds of mud. We will need to swim upstream into the current so we can see what we're doing. I find the tracks left by an alligator's tail in the mud. That's an alligator dragging his tail through there. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Show it to me.
It's sticked up in the mud. Let me feel up here. A slider turtle makes a fast exit, leaving a cloudy trail behind him. I continue to follow the trail, hoping it leads me to the alligator. Yeah, the trail keeps going. Is it a deep spot over there, Al?
Can't tell. No. Looks shallow. Man, this is spooky. I'm waiting for the creature from the Black Lagoon to come exploding out of here.
Yeah,
This
does it look
is
deep in
crazy.
there?
No, it's not deep.
Al is right. This is a spooky place below the surface. This tangled nightmare of dead trees and plants seems like the last place anyone would want to explore. But for me, it's fantastic, and I feel completely at home here. Finding General Lee is going to be much more difficult than I thought. This river is surrounded by dense swamps. And even a monster gator the size of General Lee can disappear in this primitive and dangerous place they call the Dead River. And it almost lives up to its name. A horrifying charge by a bull gator almost takes me out. Welcome to the Dead River. I can only guess how this place got its name. One thing is for sure. People have been killed by alligators on the Dead River. And I'm here to find General Lee, a monster alligator I first encountered over 2 years ago. Will he show himself again in these murky waters? I continue my hunt for General Lee. Along the bank are alligator dens, dugout caves alligators hide in. Quite kicked it up in there, but there's a gator den in there, but it's a small gator den. It's only about that high, so it's definitely a very small gator in there. But it's a gator den. As I investigate the den, I spot a 2-foot alligator hiding way in the back. And I decide to take a closer look.
It's a baby gator, but I had to reach way back in there with a flashlight and find him in the den. Super dark in that hole. Because at a few seconds before he got all kicked up in there. Even so, he's so small, it was very difficult for me. Very difficult. Wow. Oh, we've been looking for gators. We haven't found much. We found this little guy. He had his den. Even this little guy was difficult to find and catch in here. He dove into his den. It was way back in there. I needed, without a flashlight, I couldn't have gotten him. So I just brought him over to show him. He's very dark. And the water that he's in is very dark also. This area is very, very dark in here. And yeah, he knows his safety. He's sunning up there on the bank. He sees somebody approaching, dives in and goes inside his cave. He's probably about a year old, just over 2 feet long. He feeds on minnows, frogs, insects, just about any critter he can tackle and put down his gullet. Even at this side, look at his mouth is open, ready to snap it, see it. Anything, that finger, oh yeah, he wants it. Yeah, anything, if he gets a hold of my finger, he will crunch on it. Yeah, he's calling, the babies make that sound to call their mother. Usually right around this size, they're pretty much on their own though. I'm gonna put it back by his den where I found him. Safe, secure. This young alligator is an excellent help, and he has an amazing playground, and we can keep from being eaten. This is a little mud turtle. Looks like a snapping turtle, but see the short tail on it? It's actually a mud turtle. He bites out. Look at the mouth on him. Yeah. I'm gonna put him back in. The Dead River is a wild and dangerous place, but so far, the only alligator encounter has been a far cry from the massive beast I'm hunting for. So we continue our search for General Lee, the monster of the Dead River. I am searching for the monster of the Dead River, a giant alligator we encountered over 2 years ago. We named this old-timer General Lee, a 14-foot, 1,000-pounder that must have been 50 years old. But finding him in this murky swamp is difficult and dangerous. We continue moving deeper into the Dead River, hoping for a glimpse of General Lee. We could pass right over him and never know it in these conditions. We searched a lot. We've seen a few alligators, but we haven't seen any sign of General Lee. It seems the Dead River is pretty low right now on alligators, or at least they've managed to elude us, and man, we look hard for them. This way, right? There's a gator trail. Yeah, look, here goes this way. Yeah, this is a gator trail right here. The water's dirty, but it's just clear enough where I can see the changing color. See all the mud coming up? It goes, wait a minute, it stops here. There's so much vegetation in here. I'm looking all over the place. I'm trying to see if I can see one, spot him out of the water and be able to see where he goes in the first place. This is a tangled mess of vegetation. I mean, this is a jungle above water and below water. It's a jungle all over. I mean,
If I was an alligator, I'd love to be in here. They'll never catch me. You know? The jungle along the bank is so dense. A dinosaur could easily hide completely out of sight. Okay, we just seen about a 9-foot alligator out of the water in the bank over there. Quet and I are gonna do an approach to get a close video on him. A 9-foot alligator is a deadly predator. You don't corner a Bengal tiger and expect to get away with it. That's how much respect I have for the alligator resting on the bank. The whole idea is pick up his trail in the water and follow him to his den or where he stops. And that will get our counter. And Quentin will lock in the video on him. I have to be extremely careful. A full charge attack would be hard to stop. I weave my way through the maze of water lilies. And finally, there he is, just a few yards in front of us, watching every move we make. This is a 9 to 10 foot alligator, not generally, but impressive just the same, and capable of amazing speed. Feeling cornered, the alligator charges full blast, and it slams directly into my chest.
You ran into me.
A 600-pound missile that luckily decides not to shred me into little pieces. Our adventure on a dead river was fantastic. That alligator that charged me, it hit me so hard, I mean, it was like a freight train. It was coming at me with all his power. Quit and I were blocking his only escape route, so it had to come through me. We searched for General Lee. All the alligators are very elusive. We couldn't find General Lee, but I'm sure he's still out here, and we'll find in another episode. See you next week on Savage Wild.
The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
It was a day I will never forget. A beautiful day that seemed perfect for exploring a deep canal in the Everglades with my friend Aksan. But this day was anything but perfect, and the nightmare that would unfold still haunts me. A brush with death, and a reminder to never drop your guard in the savage wild. I am Manny Puig. I have spent my whole life learning to survive like Tarzan in the most dangerous and primitive wilderness, where you can be killed or eaten. I have learned the ways of giant, man-eating predators, deadly sharks, and reptiles, where every encounter may spell disaster in the savage wild.
I have a confession to make. About a year ago, there was a vicious alligator attack in this canal, and the victim was me. I wasn't out here filming an episode of Savage Wild. I was out here doing what I love to do, exploring the wilderness. I had invited a friend to show her how beautiful and wild this place was, and we had a great deal of exploration.
The day Manny was attacked was a very nice day, so just like a nice sunny day with a lot of gators out. We came across a lot of gators.
We'd been in the water all day. We'd seen a bunch of beautiful alligators. And I was getting tired after a while, so I decided to get back on the boat. And after a bit, Manny decided to get back in on his own, do a little bit more exploring.
He ended up going ahead of us. It was about the end of the day. We were finishing up, and he says, well, I'm going to go up ahead of you all and just look a little bit more. I said, okay.
And at the end of the day, I decided to come in by myself, and I was swimming along the edge of the canal, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it felt like somebody hit me with a baseball bat across my back. And I thought, man, did the airboat run me over? What's going on here?
Started to head towards him, and then I seen a really big splash. And I just figured he found another gator, and he was just gonna, bring it out. We'd see this. And next thing I seen Manny come up, and he's just, you could see he was kind of in awe.
And all of a sudden, I turned around and I came face to face with an alligator that had just ambushed me. Once I realized what happened, I immediately went on the offensive and confronted the alligator and backed him away. By that time, the airboat pulled up. I said I'd been attacked by an alligator. I climbed into the airboat. I had no idea what kind of damage I had on me. I couldn't see my back, and I asked everybody to check my back and see what's wrong with it.
When we got Manny back in the boat, we can see that there were teeth marks on his wetsuit. And when we pulled the wetsuit to the side is when you could definitely see those gator teeth.
So I took my wetsuit off, and I had like 10 lacerations where his teeth had scraped across my back. Now, I got very lucky. Why didn't he kill me or rip my arm off? If he gets me in the right angle, my arm is off in 2 seconds. It's off your body. That's how quick they rip you off. Now, the only thing is, he got me in a bad angle, so he was not able to get me in the angle that he wanted, and so he slid off my back. As I turned, my wetsuit slid with the teeth and everything right off my back, and I was able to get away from him. So why am I here? I'm here to see if I can find the same alligator again and try to find out why he attacked. I believe that he may be a natural man-eater. Some alligators have a tendency, it's in their genetics and their personality, to attack man, while others are not. They're all different personalities. So I want to find him and confront him and interact with him. And I've always been fascinated by wildlife attacking people. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to find this alligator again, interact with him, and see if I can learn from him. And also, I'm going to educate him. They have very good memory. Try to make them think that we're not a source of food, which is a good education for them. Yeah, they sit in there and you can swim by, and it's a perfect ambush place. When they're back in there, you can't see them, and you're not paying attention coming through here. It's a perfect setup for them. He's headed this way, just like you and an actor. He is about the size of the alligator that attacked me. That could be him. So I'm gonna try a bunch of things, maybe even get him to attack me. We'll see what happens. Queta, you ready?
Yeah.
In this world of kill or be killed, even the tough guys can be caught off guard. Allowing me to interact with them, but they would kill me in an instant if they had the chance. I have returned to the scene of a vicious alligator attack deep in the Everglades. I am always fascinated when humans are preyed upon by wild animals. But this time, the victim was me. I was the prey. Luckily, I got away with my life. Now I have many questions that need answers. And as I enter the water, an alligator just like the one that attacked me is already waiting. Could this be the man-eater? Queta, you ready?
Yeah.
I have lost sight of the alligator. He must have dove under. There he is, walking on the bottom.
Here's the big one over here. Both of them are here. They're both here. Cuete.
In fact, there are two. A 7-footer is up along the bank.
The two of them are here. There's two of them. Don't kick them.
I dive down to greet the big one, and he turns directly towards me. He is about the same size that attacked me, around 9 to 10 feet long. Alligators can grow to over 14 feet, but this size is extremely dangerous. Lightning fast when they attack. By interacting with him this way, I am teaching him that humans are not food. The alligator breaks away and heads to the bottom. Could this be the one that attacked me? I'm looking for any clues in his behavior, but he gives nothing away.
Just minding my own business, I got attacked. The thing about it is that people say, well, were you provoking the alligator? No, I wasn't. I was minding my own business, just hanging out here, and I got attacked. I just let it clear up a little bit. I just want to demonstrate him. That's about the exact size of alligator that attacked in the same place. It could very well be him, but I wanted to get next to him and show him. That's why I kind of walked underneath him all the way to the bank over there.
Yeah, keep an eye on here, because this is where they hide. And you come by here, he could step out of here and grab you. Ambush. I don't know how many are in here or how many are prone to attack, but I know for sure there's a man-eater in this area. That's for sure.
Let me show you the secret world of one of America's most dangerous predators. Alligators use these overhanging bushes for cover. And this is where an attack will most likely occur. Gar also like these hiding places. And as I move along the bank, one after another pops out. I continue to search the bank and shallows. The bank is a tangled mass of vegetation. The perfect place for an ambush predator to take down prey. Finding the alligator that attacked me will be like finding a needle in a haystack. But I am determined.
You don't understand, sometimes the man-eater is very shy, very elusive. He hides and he just watches from a distance.
Go away. You shoved me into the bottom.
He could have been the one attacking, but there's no way of telling.
As I search for the alligator that ambushed me, questions are constantly running through my mind. What triggered the attack? Was it hunger alone? I don't think so. Instead, I believe it was a combination of personality and opportunity. That alligator has taken big game before, and I probably swam right by him without seeing him. And that's all it took.
What I'm doing right now, I'm human bait. I'm swimming along the edge of this. This is where the alligators hide in ambush. That's what happened to me that day. The alligator was hiding in this vegetation, and I came by like this. He stepped out behind me and grabbed me. So I'm cruising back and forth to see if I can lure one in there. They could be hiding on this side or that side.
Resting in a tangle of branches against the bank, a 9-foot alligator is hiding.
He's in here, he's in here. This is where they hide, in here for ambush. Get in here.
Tell me again, Manny, tell me again.
Get in there before he goes. Just get in there. No, this is where they hide. There's one hiding in here. He's waiting. This is a deadly predator lying in ambush. A bear trap set to go off at the slightest opportunity. All it takes is the right trigger. A splash or something swimming by, like a person. And a terrible encounter is set in motion. What a coincidence. This is exactly where I was attacked. That alligator is sitting exactly where probably an alligator was that attacked me that day. It looks really calm and quiet right here, peaceful. There's a huge, bad alligator right in there, sitting and hiding, you know, completely camouflaged under those trees. So basically what happened that day, I was swimming along here and he popped up behind me and attacked me. That's what happened that day. Resting on the bottom, a 10-foot alligator is watching us. This place is loaded with 9 and 10-footers. He remains perfectly still as I approach. But as I gently lift him by the shin, he backs up and then takes off, pulling me along as he heads for the surface. He pauses for a moment before breaking free. Whew. I relocate the alligator and attempt to lift him by the scoots on his neck. But he bolts off, cruising along the bottom. Then turns directly into the camera, passing calmly by while studying us. I would give anything to know what he's thinking right now. We follow him as he swims along the bottom. An awesome sight. He allows you to lift them this way easy, but not this way. Some alligators don't let you lift them like this, they let you lift them like that. They're weird, all of them are. But that was a good encounter. I mean, that very well could have been him. He was underwater, so I couldn't really test the surface attack. That alligator was a beautiful 10-footer. I was able to interact with him. He could have been the one attacking me, but there's no way of telling because so many of them look the same. Yeah, keep an eye on here, because this is where they hide. And you come by here, he could step out of here and grab you. My search for the alligator that ambushed me continues. And I'm starting to wonder if he will give himself away. If there is any way of knowing for sure which one is the man-eater. As the day wears on, I wonder if we can actually locate the alligator that attacked me. Will he give us any clues? The water is real high. This swamp surrounds that canal all around in here. So the alligators can be anywhere. They can go in through here. A huge alligator can just crawl right through this forest. The water's this deep and he can lay perfectly, and you could be walking along and not even see him. There's a million places out here for alligators to hide in. This just goes for miles and miles, just flooded cypress swamp everywhere. These canals deep in the Everglades are so mysterious and full of life. They are magical to me. As we approach the edge, where it drops from 3 to 15 feet, I spot a number of largemouth bass swimming with other perch and cichlids. Largemouth bass are awesome predators. They are the terror of other fish and the ultimate prize of freshwater anglers. I find a 6-foot alligator resting in the shallows. At this size, they are prey for bigger alligators. And he's wary of me, moving closer to the bank for an escape into the dense swamp beyond. As I touch his tail, he explodes away. So far, I've had some really good alligator encounters. I've encountered some the exact same size and exact same place where I was attacked. I don't know if they were the culprit or not, but I know for sure that there is a man-eater out here somewhere. I haven't been attacked today, but he's out here. I don't know what he's gonna do, if he's gonna attack, or it could have been one of the ones I already encountered. He's just acting different today. There's no telling. Cuente. There's an alligator coming right to the boat right over there. A very curious alligator. Oh, this could be an attacker. Look at the size of him. Look, he's hissing, he's mad. He's actually, this alligator is very, very aggressive. I mean, look how close he is to us. You know, he's looking to eat something. You know, if I get in, he may back off if I approach him. But if I run from him, he may actually come after me. I might be able to get him to come after me. The only thing is he's too close to me right now. I don't want to back him up. This is exactly what I've been looking for. This alligator is acting very aggressive. He's very curious. He's right next to the boat. I mean, chances are if I go out here, he may attack me. This is something no one should ever try, to get in the water with an alligator like this and purposely trying to get an attack. But I'm gonna go out here. I know how to defend myself from an attacking alligator if I can see him coming. If I don't see him coming, that's what I'm afraid of. The one that gets you is the one I can't see. The alligator immediately tries to intimidate me and back me up. This is unusual behavior, and I notice his upper jaw is wounded. He may be having trouble catching food, and this makes him far more dangerous to humans. This alligator seems to have an injury on his upper jaw right here. He's unafraid, he's aggressive towards us in the boat. I mean, he's still hanging on our face, but what you don't understand, sometimes the man-eater is very shy, very elusive. He hides, and he just watches from a distance. And then he doesn't want to show himself until he makes his attack. People understand that. They think sometimes that an alligator is friendly around people is the dangerous one. Sometimes they're wrong. It's the one that you never see, that is hiding in the weeds. He's living in a lake, nobody even knows he's there, and he's sneaking around. But he doesn't want, he's hunting, he's stalking, so he doesn't want to show his presence until he makes his attack. About a year ago, an alligator out here almost took my life. And here I am today, doing all the wrong things, acting like alligator food. And that is what fascinates me the most about all predators, is how unpredictable they are. They're gonna choose the time and place they're gonna get you. I'm glad I'm still here, and I'll see you next week on Savage Wild.
The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
This Florida river may seem like a tropical paradise, but I'm here to investigate a vicious alligator attack.
He had his teeth knocked out, his jaw was broken, lacerations on his throat and his chest.
Are the alligators here more prone to attack humans? I am here to find out. I am Manny Puig. I have spent my whole life learning to survive like Tarzan in the most dangerous and primitive wilderness where you can be killed or eaten. I have learned the ways of giant, man-eating predators, deadly sharks, and reptiles, where every encounter may spell disaster in the savage wild. Every adventure in the savage wild is fantastic. An opportunity to see or learn something completely new. But today, my mission is more serious. We're here on the Silver River. This is a magnificent wild place. This is where they filmed Tarzan and Sea Hunt. It's a famous river. But the reason we're here, because a few weeks ago, there was a brutal alligator attack here. And I'm here to investigate, find out why this alligator attack took place, find out if the alligators here are more prone to attack. Is it genetics in the area, the food, the way they hunt, certain behavior? I'm here to find out. One of the crew on Savage Wild is Al Roberts. And Al Roberts also knows these waters around here and these rivers and these alligators better than anyone.
What had happened was a researcher was in the water doing water samples, which he does all the time. Matter of fact, he'd been in the water just a couple hours before when a massive alligator brutally attacked him, put his entire head and upper torso inside of his mouth. He was extremely lucky to have survived such a vicious attack. Pretty big gator. That's a 10-foot plus gator. Right there by the palm tree. That's a big gator. Let's go up here in the park and we'll come back. Okay.
We just spotted a 10 to 12 foot alligator right over there. I'm gonna get in, I'm gearing up and go find him. My goal here today is to show you what to do and not to do in a river with alligators. First of all, don't ever go swimming in a river with alligators. But let's say your canoe capsized or you have to get in for whatever reason, and you're there, I'm gonna show you today what to do in order to survive. There are certain things that you do that will trigger an alligator attack. I'm gonna show you what they are today and demonstrate them, and also what your best defense is. I'm ready, are you ready?
Almost.
Where's the alligator at?
Okay, you see the palm tree straight off the back of the boat with the palm branch hanging down into the water? There's a bunch of duckweed right in front of it.
You mean in that little gap inside the cypress tree? That little pocket in there?
You see the pocket of weed straight
right
behind the boat.
Inside there?
Right underneath that palm branch hanging over. I can see part of his eyes.
Oh yeah, I think I see him now.
That's his eyes and his nose just barely sticking up through the weeds.
I see him now.
Yeah, he's a big, big alligator. That's a really big gator.
Yeah. First of all, I'm gonna do what will provoke an attack. I'm gonna cruise right in front of him. I've been attacked many times before, so I know what makes an alligator attack. You gotta look like prey. I'm gonna try to look like his food supply and come through and see if it'll get him to come out and attack me. If not, then I'm gonna go investigate him. But I know what it's all about because it's happened to me many, many times since I was a kid. Get behind me a little bit. Get behind me. Get behind me a little bit to give him time to come out. I don't want him to see you right off the bat. Get behind me. Get further behind me.
You can never predict when an alligator will suddenly attack. You can even make yourself an easy target. He may just stare at you as you swim by. Or you could suddenly end up fighting for your life. Two weeks ago, this river was the scene of a brutal alligator attack. The gator grabbed the man by the head. His jaw was crushed, but he survived. That alligator was destroyed. But I want to know more about the alligators that live in this river. I want to show you how not to get eaten. The alligator didn't attack me, even after I swam right by him. I am a little surprised, so I want to get a closer look at him. I can tell it's a big gator by how small the eyes are. I decide to approach him from below. As I dive under the mat of vegetation and approach the alligator from below, my cameraman can't see what I am now seeing. The enormous alligator we're dealing with. The monster takes off, boiling the surface.
I couldn't see anything in there. He's enormous. Enormous, enormous, enormous. You couldn't see anything?
And nothing.
Well, you were
Pitch
filming,
black.
right?
Pitch black.
But you were filming.
Yeah, but I couldn't see anything.
Don't worry, the camera saw it. Well, I cruised in front of him like prey, tried to get him to come out and attack, and he didn't. They're very unpredictable. Understand that that alligator was 13, 14 feet long or more. I mean, he was enormous, enormous. He's a whole lot bigger than I thought he was. Now, you could cruise by an 8-footer, he might attack you. Sometimes just because he's as big, it doesn't mean he's going to attack you. A lot of the attacks are done by 7 to 9 footers. I remember the first time I was attacked by an alligator. Up until then, I had hand-caught alligators. I swam with them. The alligators always ran from me. I'd jump into a lake and they'd swim. So there was an alligator sunning on the bank in a pond. I jumped in, went for a swim. The alligator jumps in the water. I figured he's going to spook and go underwater and hide. And next thing you know, he's swimming at me at high speed. And I started trying to make it back to shore, and the alligator catches up to me. So I take off my t-shirt. You know, I didn't have the experience back then I have now, and I stood behind my t-shirt, kind of like a bullfighter behind his blanket. You know, and I stood behind it so he couldn't hide behind it, so he couldn't see me. And then I approached him and I backed him up. And then I tried to get away again, and he ran me down again. And I remember seeing through the water, his mouth was open. And by that time, there's some people on shore watching, and I'm going back and forth, chasing him back and forth. I'd try to make a run for it, he'd catch up to me. And then I'd back him off, and till finally I made it to shore. And I was nervous and uneasy. And I made it to shore, and I said, wow. You know, back then people always said, oh, alligators don't attack people. I'd read in a book they don't attack people, and all of a sudden, this alligator's actually, you know, attacking me. And then you started hearing more and more reports about people being attacked by alligators. The alligators were hunted so long that they retreated so far into the swamp that people were rarely attacked. Then when the alligator population came back and the Florida population of humans exploded, the conflict started to happen.
This river is bordered by dense jungle. It feels very ancient and primitive because it is. The sheer beauty of this place is overwhelming. But the brutal alligator attack just a couple of weeks ago is a reminder of how savage and wild it is. There's always something to learn from an attack like this. As we make our way upstream, I am searching for any clues that might reveal what led to the attack. And already I noticed something unusual. Because they are protected from hunting in this river, these alligators show little fear of humans. Normally they would explode into the water as soon as they see you. This is the smoking gun. I have come to the scene of an attack. 2 weeks ago, a man collecting water samples was grabbed by the head. A 12-foot alligator had him in a death hold. But he fought his way out and made it to shore where he collapsed. Now I'm searching for answers. How do these alligators behave around humans? I believe I've already found a clue.
In an area there's a lot of hunting pressure, you don't get this close to alligators. This area, you can see there's no hunting pressure. Alligators are afraid in areas, but they're being hunted. Over here, they're hardly afraid of people because they're not being hunted. This is a perfectly wild alligator acting natural and normal. There hasn't been many attacks on this river, but this is not an actual swimming area. You know, it ain't like you see a bunch of people swimming right now. I don't see anybody swimming. You know, people are aware there are alligators in here, you know, and most people won't swim in here. You can see there's some enormous alligators in here. This is a very high potential for an alligator attack in this river. All you gotta do is just put the people and the animals together. The guy that got attacked in here by an alligator, he probably swam in here. He knew there were big alligators in here. He was very aware, and I'm sure he was cautious. The thing is that you never know when an alligator is going to attack. And the alligator is attacking you, he'll make sure usually that you don't see him coming. Remember, the alligator is an ambush predator. He attacks by surprise. So he's not going to let you see him. The whole idea is for him to catch you off guard. And that's what people, you know, they see alligators, oh, he's just laying in the sun, it looks docile, oh, you know, looks harmless. But, you know, you got to wait for the right alligator when he's hungry at the right time. Not when you choose, when the alligator chooses to make his attack. We just passed a 7-foot alligator. We're gonna get in, approach him, get some video. Take into account that even though the alligator that attacked that area was a very large alligator, most of the attacks are 7 to 9 foot alligators. The majority of the alligators are smaller. There's not that many big ones around in the state of Florida. So people come in contact with that size alligator more, and they may not look as big or as powerful, but they're very strong. They can rip your arm off in 2 seconds. Some guy got bit in the back of the head by a 5 to 6 foot alligator. You know, it has to do with personality more than anything. I am surprised by how calm this alligator seems with us only a few feet away. But he is watching our every move and decides to check his escape route. It's amazing how close I got. As I approach him head on, something prey will never do. He turns and swims away.
follow him as he disappears beneath a tangle of logs.
He's charging you. He's charging you.
The alligators that live on this river are built like tanks. A human is no match for them. But what provoked the attack? My search for clues continues. Two weeks ago, a man was savagely attacked by an alligator on this river. I am here to try and understand what may have led to the attack. My opinions are completely my own. But I can already see that these alligators are unafraid of humans because they have never been hunted. This is an important clue.
That spider is the size of my hand. I do not like spiders. They give me the creeps. Leave me with the alligators, or the sharks, bears, anything. But I don't know. I don't like them touching me. I don't like being near them. I do not like spiders at all. There's something about them. They give me the creeps.
As we continue upstream, we pass one alligator after another, soaking up sunshine so they can hunt later in the afternoon.
Another one over there. Two alligators back to back. That front one had an eye injury, and that's something that's pretty common. They get it through fighting, a lot of times missing legs, damaged eye. These are powerful, brutal animals. Everything about them is just predatory, brutal, strength, fighting. You know, they're not nice. There's another one over here. As you can see, alligators are incredibly fast, way faster than a human. In the water, you can never outswim or get away from them. They're real quick like that on land, at close quarters, ambush. But if you're out in the middle of a football field, he's not gonna outrun you and catch you. You know, you gotta be right there next to him. But in the water, forget about a swimming one. They can swim as fast as a fish. They fly. They sit still, they don't move, and all of a sudden, they just explode. Very explosive.
We spot a beast of an alligator sitting high on a log, and I decide to approach him head on. I am sending him a message he can understand. I am not food, and I want to see how he reacts. He keeps a wary eye on us as I move closer. Then he slides off the log and disappears under the riverbank. He must be under this tangle of vegetation. And there he is, just a few feet away. A perfect place to set up an ambush. I approach him slowly and decide to gently lift him. This tells me a lot about their personality. He stays calm as we get to the surface, and then he is done with me.
Hold on! Where is he? I can't believe it. I gently got him all the way up like this, from way back in. That was difficult. Real gentle, and all of a sudden, when he exploded, all the mud comes up. I don't know where his head is at. I don't know where he's at. Yeah, he jumped off my back. I felt him pushing off of me. I don't know where he went. Yeah. I know you can see him pretty good in there where you were, right?
Underwater, it looked crystal clear.
Yeah, it was dark, but you could see him, all his white, all the markings was vivid. Today we had some close encounters, some close calls, but no all-out predatory attacks, which is what we were looking for. That happens only on the alligator's own time and choosing. But it's important to me that you learn how to be safe out here. And do you know what to do if you're attacked, how to avoid situations, basically how to survive out here. And hope you catch us next time on Savage Wild.
The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
This may be my toughest adventure yet. Hunting wild hogs in the Palmetto Forest of Florida. They are fast, mean, and dangerous. Hunting them with a spear is a very risky business. But that is exactly why I'm here. Well, this is Savage, and this is Wild. I am Manny Puig. I have spent my whole life learning to survive like Tarzan in the most dangerous and primitive wilderness, where you can be killed or eaten. I have learned the ways of giant, man-eating predators, deadly sharks, and reptiles, where every encounter may spell disaster in the savage wild. Wild hogs have been part of Florida's swamps and forests since Hernando de Soto first brought them over from Spain in 1539. Now there are over 500,000 roaming the Florida wilderness, and every attempt to control a population has failed. They are definitely destructive to the habitat and native wildlife, but they are also my favorite animal to hunt with a spear. So today, I'm doing my part for the environment. I am hunting private land in northern Florida. Palmetto forests and swamps are where hogs love to hide. But it's very difficult hunting, and you can be attacked from any direction at any time. A 200-pound hog can rip a man wide open with his tusk. That's a big hog out there. I can hear him. It is hot. This is a hot time of year. It is so hot out here. It's incredible. The hogs are going to get under the palmetto and look for shade. It's really hot, so they're going to be laying in here in the shade. Get away from the heat. I might need to get inside the palmetto. And the palmetto, I'd have to do one of these, like that. It's dangerous as all get out. As you won't see him till he's right in your face. Okay, there's one in there. This is a throw, and this is a stopper. This can be thrown, but this is better for throwing. This is for stopping up close. When they hit, they come back around you and they try to get you. So you gotta have a backup where you're gonna find yourself in running for your life. hand make all my spears out of stainless steel, and each one has a different purpose. For this trip, I have also designed a lighter spear for throwing longer distance. The spearhead is hand sharpened, designed for maximum penetration and damage. But I have to get very close. In fact, danger close. By hunting this way, I'm putting myself and my camera crew at risk. But this is real adventure, as primitive and raw as it gets. This will definitely be one of my toughest hunts. The palmetto is so thick and noisy that getting close to these hogs will be a challenge. And getting a clear shot with my spear will even be harder. But this place is loaded with hogs, and I have a few tricks up my sleeve. I am hunting wild hogs in the palmetto forest of North Florida. My weapon of choice, the spears I have designed and built for big game hunting. I can hear the hogs moving around me, but getting close is going to be tough. The palmetto is so noisy, they can hear every move I make. I will need to set up an ambush along one of their main trails. This is as primitive as a tree stand gets. I'm basically just standing in a tree. But this is exactly how our ancestors did it. And this is how I like to hunt. I can see hogs moving around me, but the palmetto is so dense. First, I will throw my lightweight spear. I can throw it farther and faster than my other spears. And it's a very effective hunting tool. The hogs are on the move, and they seem to be everywhere. Suddenly, a group of hogs charge out of the palmetto. I aim for a large boar, but it's a miss. I'm aiming at the second hog from the front, but I throw too late, and it hits the ground just behind it. This is a huge pack of hogs. I switch to one of my heavier spears and scan the forest. The number of wild hogs here is amazing. And I can already hear another pack moving this way. This spear has better penetration, but I can't throw it as far. So I'll have to depend on luck. A hog moving in close enough for a solid hit. I'm getting a little impatient. The hogs are not coming any closer. And I want to improve my chances for success. So I retrieve my lightweight spear from the ground to increase my effective range if a hog happens by. I spotted a large boar resting in the palmettos, but he is over 25 yards away. Too far to ensure a solid placement of my spear. An easy shot with a bow would be risky at best with a spear. Hearing something behind me. I spot another pack, but I decide not to throw my spear. With so many hogs running around this area, I'm going to take my time and find the one that I want. I've hunted from the ground. I've hunted from the trees. If I'm going to take a wild boar with my spear, I need to be patient, but I also need the right strategy, an ambush at a waterhole. But on this sweltering hot Florida afternoon, the favor is returned. Deep in the palmetto forests of northern Florida, I'm hunting wild boar with my spears. But so far my spear has missed its mark. Sooner or later, these wild hogs will come to the water. I found a small pond where hogs have been coming to get out of the heat. And sure enough, a nice boar is enjoying a splash. The wind is perfect. I'm only 15 yards away. The boar can't smell me. And as long as I stay perfectly still when he looks my way, he won't even know I'm here. But he seems to sense something is not right. As he moves against the bank, I decide to stalk closer. But he is already heading into the forest. I try to hit another large boar, but he escapes without a scratch.
Always like two spears. I throw one and I hang on to the other one for protection. That's the only way to do this.
I go back to the trees, and this time, luck is on my side. A pack of wild hogs is moving directly below me. They have no idea that I'm 10 feet above them. Until one of them suddenly discovers me. But as the pack bolts, I manage to spear a nice boar. Now comes the dangerous part. Tracking an angry boar in this dense palmetto.
This is very dangerous. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. I have the worst scenario. I have a wounded wild hog in there. I'm trying to track him. It's very thick in there, and if I come face to face with him, he's going to attack. I have to be ready to stop him before he gets me. This is, to me, the worst scenario, going into palmettos after a wounded boar. This is very, very dangerous. The spear. He has blood all the way to here, look. I got blood all the way to there, so I went in pretty deep. I got a lot of penetration. And he must have been working his insides and he threw it out, so he's probably pretty badly hurt. I'm just giving him time to lay down. I gotta look under every palmetto leaf in this forest for hundreds of yards around, see if I can find him. And be very alert, because I do not want to get caught up by this wild hog. I continue to track the wild boar. Somewhere in this palmetto forest, he is hunkered down, ready to tear into anything or anyone that wanders by. This boar is over 200 pounds, the most dangerous size, lightning fast, with razor sharp tusk, and this one has a score to settle. Tracking an angry wild boar in the palmetto forests of northern Florida. This hunt is about to go from exciting to extremely dangerous. Once you've experienced a wild boar attack, you will never forget it. They can explode on you with incredible violence, and they are experts at payback. It's blood. He's been through here. I'm close on his trail. Suddenly we hear movement, and we brace for a charge. But it's only the rest of the pack racing by. My heart is pounding like crazy. It's a huge hog just took off that way. A bunch of them went this way. But I don't know which is I have to drop. Now it's like this in here. Because you don't know where he's going to come out from. I can't hardly see in here. There's more blood. That's fresh blood right there. Yeah, it's still moist. As he drops, going this way. It's not this way, that way. The wounded one was running with a bunch of them. He's in here somewhere. Hopefully the healthy ones will run off and the wounded one will stay behind, and hopefully I'll find him dead. I believe he's mortally hit. I found my boar, crouching in the palmetto, ready to charge. He's clicking his tusk. This means he's really mad. I can't get a clear shot. There's too much palmetto in the way. So I try to maneuver closer. Just as I'm getting ready to throw, he explodes, diving under my spear and slashing at my leg. I am fighting for my life, and it is total chaos.
Cameras are thrown to the ground as the producer rushes in to help. We found him. It's a hog I had wounded earlier. He had thrown the spear, and then I got when I saw him, he was popping his jaws. I don't know if I was gonna try to throw the spear, or drop the spear. I don't know if he was gonna attack or run. I had no idea. I was trying to anticipate what he's gonna do. And he charged. He made it past my spear. I was literally fighting for my life there. I guess before I could drop my spear, I was trying to do this, and I had the other one. I knew I should have dropped one spear. If I knew he was gonna charge, I would have had him like this, both spear down. He came forward. I wasn't able to line up the spear on time. He made it past my spear, and that was it. I grabbed him by the ears. I remember I don't even know exactly what happened. I had him by the head, and I'm trying to hang on to his head, and he's struggling like crazy. He got my leg, and I noticed he had gotten my arm, and I was still holding. I just held on till help arrived. And once I had him in my hands, I wasn't gonna let him go. I knew he already hurt me and everything else. I was just hanging on and keeping him there. Robin, the producer, had to drop the camera, pick up a spear, and help me with a hog and stick in him. He stuck him with both spears to keep him down, and he was still fighting. Well, this is savage and this is wild. This was a great adventure for me. I'm glad you were with me, and I hope your heart was thumping, your adrenaline was running like it was on mine.
Yeah, so right before Manny gets his butt kicked by a couple 100-pound hog, Al says, "Hey, he's over there, and if you get near him, I think he's gonna bite you."
That is funny.
That's the last thing anybody said to us.
There's a glimmer of brilliance in my redneck mentality.
Yeah.